back. Ironing Out the Kinks, episode 8, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult, we're getting to big numbers for me to count. You're with Luke and Chelsea, talking about all things kinky and sexy, and just doing it with a smile on our faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. We don't waste time with intros because that's for losers. So let's get straight into it. Top 100 kinks.
So we actually had somebody send us a request this week for cuckolding and hot wifing, and
We've already done cuckolding.
we did. I think that was episode 1. So if you haven't heard that, head on back.
Yeah, basically what you're telling us is that you haven't listened to us and you don't respect us. So go back and listen to that.
But hot wifing, it is slightly different from cuckolding. So I think it's one that we can talk about this week.
Tell me about it. Because I thought it was the same.
So cuckold is when you will watch your partner and probably not get involved. You're just going to watch them fuck someone else. Whereas hot wifing is where you'll allow them to go out and fuck other people. You haven't got to be there to watch, or you'll get involved in a threesome kind of way. So very, very similar.
It's
quite swingy.
Swingy, but
Yeah.
open relationshipy.
Yes, a
But
little bit.
I guess there's more communication about the person that they're going to have sex with.
Exactly. They're not just fucking people without them knowing. It's a permission kind of based thing,
Right.
but quite non-monogamous.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos about this.
Yeah?
Like for research.
Purely research.
Mental, I've been researching episodes for this podcast for years and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Meant to be.
So I was born for this. I was born for this. So hot wifing. So why would people be into it, do you reckon?
I feel like it's very closely linked to people who enjoy threesomes.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, it's put out there as a non-monogamous lifestyle, hot wifing. And people could say that about threesomes, but I don't quite believe so. So I would say that we are completely monogamous towards each other, but we like to have threesomes.
Yep.
But I wouldn't say that's non-monogamous.
No, because we're not
We're not emotionally involved with anyone other than each other.
romantically in any way. There's no form of romance. It is not.
No.
It's not a candlelit dinner kind of setup. It's I've forgotten your name again. What is it?
Yeah.
As
We
I'm
forget the
bending her
names
over,
all the time.
yeah, and she's going down on you. You know, that's kind of how that is. And it's people can baseline it. It's just purely sexual. That's completely up to them.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that that's what that means. And obviously, if you're sleeping with multiple other people, doesn't mean that you're still in a monogamous relationship because you're having a connection with somebody else. Our connection, or when I'm having sex with somebody else, they're also having sex with you.
Yeah.
We're almost one entity in that moment. So yeah, this is different. Hot wifing's different. So I would say it's different. No, I would say it's not different. So I'd say swinging. Say cuckolding. Am I all right?
Are you okay?
It's been a long day. I only had about 4
You're
hours
a bit
sleep last
flustered.
night. I'm frazzled. I work hard. I'm a grafter. But yeah, I'd say it's different to cuckolding.
So you also have, so we're just talking about our kind of experience with it here, but you have the couples where the man will allow the woman to go out and fuck people and he doesn't get involved in it. She could send videos back to him.
Yeah, I've
pictures.
heard of that, yeah.
So that's also, again, hot wifing.
I thought that was like cuckolding.
Yeah, it is in a way.
It is. I guess they are linked in a way.
Yeah, they
'Cause
are closely linked.
I know a geezer who I worked with years ago. It's always work, isn't it?
It's always someone you worked
Well,
with.
work's a lifestyle, unfortunately. So there's a bloke I worked with, and he was in like the sex club scene in the city we were working, because he'd been working there for a while, and he just used to go around and absolutely plow this guy's wife. She loved it. The guy loved it. The guy would go to the rugby, and my mate would send him videos of my mate fucking his wife.
Yeah.
And the bloke loved it because the lads at the rugby, he was like a big geezer.
Yeah.
And he would be getting videos of like his wife just getting absolutely sent.
And the guys wouldn't have a clue.
The lads would like be like, yeah, do you want another Guinness, mate? You know what I mean? Like they had no idea that he was that guy getting that, and that just turned him on. And I'm going to call my mate T.
T.
T loved it. He loved it. Oh, he knew everyone and everything on that in that scene.
Yeah.
He'd been around.
I guess in a way, hot wifing could be quite non-monogamous, especially if you were just sending your wife out to go sleep with all these people. That for me is quite, I wouldn't like that about you. I wouldn't like to be at home by myself while you're like fucking someone else.
Yeah. But I can see, it depends whether the male's getting anything from it.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
You know what I mean? If it's like,
there's my wife's being desired or my woman's being desired, and I like that. But again,
I feel like you need to see that.
You need to see it, yeah.
If it's just like come back like, yeah, I'm gonna go shower because I'm literally my underwear's full of cum. That I don't get that. You know, if we were in a situation where, and this is something that's dawned on me fairly recently, we were in a situation with a couple, and I thought the bloke was sound and the woman was keen. You and the woman have sex. I have sex with her. I'd probably be okay with him having sex with you. I think
like a swapsies,
kind of a swapsies, but I need to be there. I need to see it.
Yeah.
I need to check his pipe out first and make sure he's not packing some absolute Rambo thing. But I don't know whether that's something I've just been thinking about. Maybe because we've been doing this pod. Maybe there's something that's kind of edged into a bit of a fantasy. I don't know if I'd like the reality. I need to have a deep moment of thought.
You'd have to have a good think
I need to have a bit
about
of meditation, you know, sit there and be like, do I want to see my wife have sex with another man?
Yeah.
And now I'm saying it, there's a tear welling up and there's a lump in my throat. So I don't know if I do.
I don't know
if I do. I think the idea of it is naughty, but...
Well, that's it. There's so many like ideas that you can run past each other while you're in the bedroom, while you're dirty talking. And then when it comes to the actual reality of it, you're like,
yeah, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to see you do that.
Exactly. That can be the same with anything.
Yeah.
That's like probably going a little bit off topic. Luke loves a tangent.
Go on.
But that can just be a really good tool for bedroom, you know, antics for people who want to spice things up a bit. Like we've had people contact us before. How do I make sure the spark doesn't die, or how do I build it up a bit? You can just talk about stuff. You're not going to be expected to do it.
Oh yeah,
as long as you communicate.
So many times where
we say some shit.
We say stuff, and you'll say stuff to me, and in my mind, I'm like, "That's never happening." But I'm like, "Yeah, we'll do that."
Oh my god!
And then after, I'm like, just to be clear,
so
that thing that you said, that I said, yeah, let's do it. I don't ever want to do that. And you're like, oh, no, nor do I.
Yeah, no, what? You're like trying to like deleting, how do I get my missus to, you know, into a female orgy tomorrow? But yeah, it's just a really good thing because you just kind of get caught up in a moment. And there's no one's, if you turn around, and this is kind of how I see this, I think a lot of women would almost, I know a lot of straight women who watch a lot of female, like lesbian porn. And they'll be like, oh, I actually quite like the idea of it, but it's not for me.
I have friends who are the same. Yeah. They're like, I like the idea of it, but I could never put a vagina in my face.
Yeah, exactly. And I like seeing women in pleasure. If you're like having a little bit of sexy talk with your man, just be like, what do you think about me like eating another girl's pussy? Would you like to see that? If a bloke says no, maybe you want to like switch it around. Maybe he wants to go with another guy. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there's a just 100% heterosexual male who wouldn't want to see that with his partner.
Yeah.
And that can just be a really useful tool. Doesn't mean you're going to go and find a girl and have sex with her. Just means it's something you talk about. It's just a little bit risque. It's just a little bit naughty, you know? We've gone fully tangent and I love it. No, I want more tangents. The feedback I get from everyone is that they love my tangents.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Funny, I haven't seen any of this feedback.
It's just to me. It's just my WhatsApp and my messages.
Is it you DMs full of people saying how much they love a tangent?
Honestly, you get all the men requesting you on your Instagram. We're not done. We see you, by the way, and we see that you've got wives and partners.
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
I'd say at present in my friend requests folder, 75% of the men in there have either their wife as their picture or in their bio and they're requesting to follow.
Pathetic. But anyway,
hey,
it's life, isn't it? We put ourselves in the public eye. This is what we deserve. But all of my requests are people whose names are on like Instagram and social media is like Luke's tangents are the best. 69.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because people fucking love my tangents. Hot wifing. So
what would
we do? Is there something we're into?
We've discussed before. See, now you say hot wifing, is there hot husbanding.
That's
Like
it. When you said, I don't know if I could see you do it. In my head, it was like, in a minute, ask if there's hot husbanding.
yeah, like is there the reverse of it? Because I know
There's gotta be.
again, personally, I wouldn't like you going out fucking other people if I wasn't there.
No, but what if it's a case of, but then this is where it gets tricky for me versus cuckolding. The fact that we have threesomes, but it's with women, does that mean you're like hot husbanding? Because I'm having sex with somebody whilst you're also having sex with them?
Yeah, because it's only cuckolding on the occasions where I've sat and watched.
Yeah.
And I still kind of got involved in a way. So,
Yeah.
but I haven't been fucked. But
we do this. We do these podcasts, and it's like stressful. We need to get recording. You know, we record the same time every week, and we need to make sure we have stuff on. We obviously have lives other than this, and then we do it, and I'm like, I'm gonna take you into bed when we get back, and I'm gonna fucking destroy you. And then we go back and have dinner, and it's normally pizza because it's late.
Yeah. And then we don't want to like.
And we don't want to have
take
sex
our clothes off.
when we're carbo loaded up. You know.
What was we saying?
Hot husbanding.
But yeah, the hot husband, that's got to be a thing. But
it's got to be.
I
know there's women who enjoy watching their men fuck.
Yeah, of course. But there's such fine lines between threesomes, cuckolding,
and hot wifing,
and hot wife and husbanding.
Yeah. See, I like the idea of where the only time you would have sex with somebody if I'm not there is if I'm away with work and it's with a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because
that is hot wifing.
That is hot wifing.
Ah, there you go. We found out hot wifing.
There it is. And that's the only times. And the only times that's really happened, no women in your local area
have been available that night.
Yeah. They're like, I'm free Friday. It's like, well, my husband's back. And they're like, well, I'm gay, so I don't want him around me. Yeah. So yeah, we would do, but just with women, really. But
then because of that, we can surely understand why men would like sending their women out to fuck other guys.
Oh, fuck yeah. Seeing some
like
people
watching your wife in a porno.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing my wife have sex with another woman is hands down the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life, on screen or off screen. Like, you could put it on screen and it would be the hottest thing. Fortunately, I've seen it with my own eyes. So if you're like, I'm going to have sex with a woman, I don't even know her name, I don't care about her name, but yeah, I'm going to go down on her and she's going to fuck me, and I'm going to send you the videos of it, and I've got to just sit on my hands and know what's happening. That's a turn on. If you're like, yeah, there's a geezer come around, I'm like, right, no. For starters, what's he packing? What's his name? What does he do for a living?
What if he was not packing? Do you want to see that?
No, but how funny is he?
He has no sense of humour. He's a monotone male.
Then why are you wanting to fuck him? What's he got that you want to bang so bad? What's up with that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to unpack. Because it's difficult. You have to be either very emotionally mature person or an extremely kinky person to hear your wife say, that guy's hot, I'd love to fuck him, and say, yeah, you should.
I don't know if you could deal with me saying that. If we saw someone out in public and I was like, he is drop dead gorgeous, I want to know what his dick looks like.
I'd smile, I'd wave, I'd find the nearest fast moving bus because I'd crumple. I would crumple.
Yeah.
And I'm the person who points out hot guys.
You always do. Yeah.
But the thing is,
then you're always asking me to point out women. I'm like, I don't see him.
Yeah, you're mental. I don't get it. But it's because I wouldn't want you to feel so uncomfortable. You couldn't be like, fucking hell, that guy's really hot. Because I can be like, yeah, that guy is really hot. But if you were like, God damn.
But you and I do not have the same taste in men.
No, we don't.
Because you always think people are really attractive. And I'm like, I wouldn't look twice.
Yeah. Yeah, you're mental. Ryan Gosling. See, don't get me started. I want to. If he wasn't famous, then I might stand a chance.
You would still fancy him?
Yeah, 100%. He's just. It's his aura. I'd feed him grapes.
I know.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Honestly, I feel like we'd be best mates if we met. We'd laugh. We'd probably cry. Talk about his favourite films. Talk about my favourite films.
That all involve him.
Always. And then we kiss.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important to be able to say to your partner that person is attractive.
Yeah.
Because of course there are attractive people, and I'll be like, God damn, yeah, they are attractive. There's a fine line between saying that and I've just got a wide on for him and I want to know what he feels like at the back of my throat. That's like heartbreaking for some people.
I'm going to give it a go one day. Even if I don't mean it, I just love to see your reaction.
I'm going to kick you in the shin as hard as I can and I'm going to push you over and run. So you do with that what you want. You've been fucking warned.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we go on to the next one?
Yeah. So what's the next kink?
Next kink is praise kink.
Ooh.
So I think this is probably something not a lot of people know about, but I think probably gets people a little bit giddy when they hear it.
Yeah.
So praise kink is getting turned on by being given like positive reinforcement, almost in a authoritative way. So being said, you're a good girl, you're a good girl, you know, so almost putting you on the back foot, and I'm the authoritative person within this, or vice versa. You being like, yeah, good boy, that's right, eat that pussy, that's it, that's what I like. And some people, not for me.
Yeah.
I just want to get that out because it sounded like I knew exactly what I was talking about there. But
it's usually the submissive person who's receiving that and who has the praise kink.
Yeah, it's very much the yin to the yang of sort of impact play and what we talked about last week with sort of belittling people verbally. Right. You know, it's very much the yin to the yang. You know, sometimes we do a bit of both of this.
Yeah. So
sometimes I'll really sort of make you feel worthless, or not really, you know, but sexually. Yeah. And then sometimes you want to be like a bit of a princess. You want to be like praised. You get that little praise king. You get that little shiver up your spine. You know, when you're doing what I want, and I'm telling you, you're a good girl for it. You know, so you all right? I just saw that twinkle in your eye. I was like, we can pause this. We can pause this and come back out of breath. I think they'll know, but fuck them. So yeah, that's a praise kink, and it's I think it's fairly fundamental in how it works, and it is like the dom, the person that I'm pleasing is pleased with me. I'm doing it well. I'm doing good. I'm serving them well. And you might not have that verbal dynamic of you serve me, you know what I mean? But yeah. it can go both ways. It can really go both ways. So even if a girl just sort of goes like, yeah, that's it. You're really doing it. If you tell me you're gonna come because of what I'm doing, that makes me want to come. So maybe I have got a praise kink.
It's kind of a praise kink, yeah.
That like confirmation of what I'm doing is just hitting the spot, and you are just loving it so much, it's about to tip you over the edge, turns me on to like nothing else.
Yeah.
You know the classic when the man's like, don't move, don't fucking move, don't fucking move, don't fucking move. It's like that. Like I don't need to touch myself. I'm like, shit, this could go off.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you've like had your orgasm, I can just go again. I'm good. But it's that praise. It's knowing.
So I guess there's more to a praise kink than just saying like, you're doing good, or good girl, good boy.
It's confirmation of what you're doing is positive, you know, and it doesn't have to be very black and white, good boy, good girl.
Yeah.
It can be like, yeah, that's right. Or, you know,
it's not one now I'm thinking about it, it's not one we do a huge amount of.
No, I'd say probably 10% of the time when we're because we're very chatty in bed. We're very verbal. We're very verbal. Probably 10% of the time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I'm tired and I can't I can't be bothered to spank you around and do all of that. But it is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice because it keeps that position that we have, that dom sub position, it keeps it really in place. You know, just because I'm not sort of controlling you or you know, dominating you or belittling you or whatever it may be, just because I'm not doing that doesn't mean that I can't almost make you feel like you are still on your knees serving your master.
Yeah,
you're just
really
getting it positively.
One, so you haven't got to use much imagination to do it in that moment.
And I promise you, if you've never done this, and your wife, if you listen to this with your partner, if you're a man listening to this, or a woman and you've a female partner, you're listening to this and you've never done this, promise you, just chuck it out. And they're like sucking your dick or something, just grab their hair, pull them back and get them to look at you and just be like, good girl. That's what I like. That's right. it.
You're giving me little tingles in this one.
The thought of the tingles you're getting is giving me tingles. So, but yeah, I think it's
pretty easy, straightforward.
It's a super simple one, and it really works, and it works on quite a deep level. And again, if you're not comfortable doing these things, but you want to try it, just do role play. Just role play this bitch, because role play it works. It works. So, literally before we sat down to record, I got a message from one of my boys.
Okay.
Who's I'm going to be drinking some Guinness with tomorrow. But him just saying that him and his partner tried one of the kinks that we recommended.
Okay.
They 100% wouldn't have done it if we hadn't mentioned it.
Amazing.
Yeah, gave me the tingles.
They enjoyed it?
They loved it. Sensory deprivation.
Oh, what a good one.
Yeah, and they did it to each other.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, that's so sick to hear.
Yeah.
That's so sick. And he was like, honestly, mate, would not have done it without hearing it on your podcast.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I was like, fuck yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're about. Just creating that little thing where you go, would you like that? They go, yeah, I think I would. And you go,
give it a go.
Yeah, let's try this. So yeah, let us know.
Love
give
that.
us that feedback.
Right, moving on to Naughty Corner.
Fuck yeah. Right. Honestly, it's murder. It feels like the longest weeks. My work week seems to go really fast, but I feel like it's been like 2 weeks since we recorded.
You've asked before, like, has it been 2 weeks? I've been like, no, we
missed
record every week.
Oh yeah, we missed a week. Fucking hell. So yeah, it feels like forever since I've heard these. So
cool.
Yeah.
So hi, Luke and Chelsea. Loving your podcast so far. I love your positivity, your openness, and your dynamic. It's great what you're doing. You are shining a spotlight and starting great conversations. Love that.
Love it.
My wife and I have been married for the last 12 years. We have 2 children, and for a large portion of these years, sex has not been there. I spent many years on the sofa at night whilst the baby kicked me out of our marital bed. We're past that now, and things are starting to really improve. I'm naturally submissive, in the bed only, and my wife is from a strict religious background, but is beginning to show some dom tendencies.
Ooh,
I like it.
like it.
She is starting to use restraints, play with clamps, and use a riding crop on my cock and balls. I'm loving all of this. It's like a dream come true. And I'm starting to suspect that she may be phoning in on the performance.
Honing in?
Maybe honing.
And then it changed it auto.
Maybe, yeah. The play is becoming instead of sex. And I think she'd be quite happy for this to continue.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what that means.
Did you proofread this before?
I didn't proofread this one, can you tell?
I can tell.
Okay, I don't want her to just do this for me. I'd like to take it further together. Talking to her about this sort of stuff is really difficult due to her embarrassment and strict upbringing. She won't tell me what she wants, or at least she won't admit what she wants. How might you suggest I get the conversation going with her to A, improve things to give her what she wants, and B, talk about some other aspects of what I like or might want to try? Thanks in advance.
Okay, my guy. First of all, when you first started reading that, I was like, oh, I think I know where this is going. Like kids, babies getting like moved out of the marital bed because the babies are coming first, kind of thing. And I was like, it's going to be hard to get that back. Started to get it back.
Yeah, so they sound like they're on their way.
You've done literally the hardest part of where you're at within your marriage and your life and your family's life.
Mm-hmm.
You've done the hardest part, and that is re-establishing the romance and sexual connection between the two of you. So what I'm taking from, one, between your poor reading, their poor typing, and the fact that you didn't proofread, is that they think, although their wife's showing dom tendencies, that she is just doing it in order to please him. Yeah. There's an issue with the fact that she's had a strict religious upbringing, because religion, honestly, believe what you want as long as you're not hurting anybody. But it's built around shaming people. The whole idea of it is shame unless you do what we say.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because a lot of religion was founded by really crusty old men who couldn't get any, they shamed women and they shamed sex. So it's a slowly.
I mean, if this is what he's saying here, that she might just be doing it for the sake of him, I wouldn't say that's entirely true, because nobody does anything they don't want to do. And if she's, even doing it, there's something in there somewhere that she's enjoying part of it. So I wouldn't say, again, if that is what he's saying here, that he thinks she's just doing it for the sake of it. I wouldn't say that's the case at all. And with her coming from, you know, quite a religious background and being shamed and feeling embarrassed to talk about this kind of stuff, it's probably going to be a slow burner for her. But she's slowly. She's starting somewhere that she probably never would have expected she'd be anyway.
She's further than most people would be.
Yeah.
You know, and she is, and they are, which is great. And that's what I mean. They're really over the mound, and it's that last little piece of communication to understand exactly what each other likes. And that can, like, saying to somebody, tie me up and use a riding crop on my balls and my dick, can be easier than let's talk about exactly what turns you on. That can actually be more daunting than actually just having the conversation about what is it you exactly like. You know, that can actually be something that somebody really struggles with, because it's that open honesty. If there's just direction, lead, like command, pause, do, it's a lot easier than, okay, open up, tell me what's going on with you, tell me what you feel like when this happens, tell me what does that for you. And that can be, some people don't know themselves. Some people really shy away from it, especially if they come from, dare I say, a sheltered background. So how do we get the conversation started? So
I would, I mean, I imagine they've had these conversations before. We're probably not telling them anything new in this situation. It's going to be it's a very niche, personal situation. But I would say double check with her what she feels when she's being this dominant character. Like, do you like doing this? Is this something, do you get anything from it? Do you like, you know, and he says here that he's only submissive in the bedroom. So I imagine that he's the dominant character in life. He's the head of the family, and well, she'll be the submissive wife almost. So I'd ask her, is it like a bit of, is it a nice switch when, you know, you're coming into the bedroom and now you're in charge? Like, almost insinuate, do you like this? And then lay out the scenario for her to give a really closed answer, a yes or a no. Because it sounds like if you're giving her an open question, she's probably going to shy away, or she's going to struggle to answer it. So almost give her as many closed questions where she can just answer yes or no as possible in this situation. Then you might be able to gauge a little bit more where her head is at with it.
I think that's a really good bit of advice.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, and this might sound a bit wrong, but a picture paints 1,000 words. Sometimes it's a case of finding a documentary that kind of explores, it doesn't have to be like hardcore porn. It can just be like a documentary on a dominatrix.
Yes, that is a really good.
And you can stumble across it whilst you're looking for something to watch one evening and be like, should we have a little look at this?
So I personally would recommend, now you've said that, there's this really, really fun TV program. It's a bit of a comedy. It's really easy watching, really short episodes on Netflix. It's called Bonding, and it's of a female dominatrix. So I'd get her to watch. It's an easy watch. You haven't got to be really sexually charged to watch it because it's a comedy.
Okay.
But I'd almost put something like that on. I think that's a really good idea what you just said.
It's the idea of, if you imagine something's really, really like challenging and difficult to understand in your head, if you start seeing people doing it and it becomes a normal thing that you see and think, oh, fucking hell, a lot of other people actually do this, it can make you much more understanding of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's where like a lot of men and women who are gay and bisexual probably don't quite understand it. That's where there's the conversation about correct representation in modern society.
Yeah.
So that as you're growing up and seeing things, you think, oh, fucking hell, what I'm feeling is just normal. What I'm feeling is just who I am, you know? This is exactly the same. This is exactly the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Never been exposed to it.
Watch some stuff. I mean,
get to listen to the podcast as well and rate and review it.
See, what we would say in a lot of situations is like, ask them what porn they like. But I think this is a bit more of a delicate situation. So I think, documentaries, TV programs where there's a representation of a submissive male and a dominant female, and then seeing if like she's going to be able to get a bit of an idea of, oh, maybe I should act this way. And there might be things in there she'd be like, oh, I actually want to try that. And he could be like, oh, I'd love it if you do this to me. What do you think?
Well, she might sit there and get turned on and be like, I actually enjoy this. I know I do now. because I'm seeing it and it's arousing me.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would look at it and go, that's not for me, you know? And it just, I get what you're saying, and it sounds like you guys are stepping really, like I've said, like props. You're stepping in the right direction, doing
Big
really, really
time.
well. But also delicately don't push your ideals on her too much. Don't be like, yeah, it'd be really nice if you were this kind of person, you know. If she's falling naturally into that character, perfect.
I'd also say as well, I think people who aren't fully aware or are still starting to understand dom sub relationships, there is such thing as a switch.
That was one of the things I was going to talk about.
Yeah, and that is, if you don't know what that is, it is simply that you haven't got to stay in these dynamic roles all the time. If she wants to be a submissive one particular time, you can both be switches. You both like being dominant and you both like being submissive. And again, with the closed questions, ask her if it's something that she would like. If you get a yes or no from it, and find out whether she is a dominant character or whether she is a switch.
Yeah. And if you're naturally submissive, you can, if she maybe wants to be dominated, you know, if she's like, actually, I want to be the sub, cool. You can be like, I want you to whip your master. That's it. Tie your master up. And you can still get your pleasures of being confined and restricted and punished, but whilst issuing the commands and making her do it. The fact that maybe she doesn't want to be in the dominant role, making her be in the dominant role by telling her, you know, by being dominant over her verbally to make her do it, might turn her on. So a complete and utter, I've just 180'd myself. Have I just created a fact?
Maybe.
Oh God. I feel like the guy from The Hangover with all the numbers around my head. Genius. Yeah, let us know you get on with that, because that is that's a delicate one. It's a tough one.
But they're going in a really good direction.
Yeah, fuck you are. You're in a place where so many people wish they were. So many women who are married to men who don't want sex, and so many men who are married to women who don't want sex. I promise you, those relationships are everywhere, especially after children and stuff. It's tough. So honestly, hats off to the pair of you. Get to listen to the podcast. Maybe just drop an episode on and be like, I had these two weirdos. Apparently they're all right. I don't know. I mean, they are hitting over 1 million views on most of their videos on socials, whatever. They don't like talking about it. But yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that the one bit?
We have another one.
Fuck yeah.
So I've just moved.
Have you proofread this one?
No, I haven't proofread anything. Get off my back. I just moved in with my girlfriend after being in a long distance relationship the whole time. Whenever I saw her before, the sex was amazing and almost non-stop. But now that we live together, it rarely happens. She says my dick is too big, and after having sex... Why do you always laugh at this?
2 weeks in a row. Yeah, okay.
She says my dick is too big, so after having sex once, it takes a few days to recover. Yep. What should I do?
Yeah, I mean, the hole that squeezes a baby out of, unless you've got a dick, that is an 8-pound dick. Yeah.
You're so in denial of men hurting women when they have sex with them.
I know men can hurt women. I know they can. But if... Let's not delve into this. Let's help this person. Okay, listen, what's happened is you've gone from this really exciting romantic thing into real life. It's real life. Listen, if you get this weekend with somebody and it's this big build up for weeks and weeks and weeks.
As a woman, we used to have to do. As a woman, you're prepping for it. You're making sure you got your tan on, your nails done, your toes looking good, you're shaved up on all the right, tootsies looking good. You shaved up in all the right places, like your hair's perfect. You're ready. You are meeting this person pretty much for the sole purpose of having a great fucking time.
Yeah.
Now you're living together. You haven't got that moment. I can't actually remember the last time I prepped like that for sex with you.
Honestly, this is what happens. People give up. And we've got a really good sex life. So imagine the people who don't, you know? The amount of times I've had to deal with hairy ankles because somebody couldn't be bothered to shave around the joint.
I am admittedly awful at shaving. I shave my legs regularly.
Just not your ankles. You've got like Ugg boots on.
But I just don't get them in all the right places.
I know. And I don't care. But I know. I think and it's, again, brother, if you're packing pipe, good for you. Maybe it does hurt too much. Maybe she does need a couple of days to recover. But real life happens. You know, this is it now. You know.
So I would say here real quick, if it is hurting for sex for her, I know you don't believe it, but men can really hurt women sometimes.
Why? Don't stop saying this, because people are going to be like, oh my God, he's got baby dick. He's got baby dick. And it's that thing of like when she says yours is perfect because the big one's hurt, and you just smile but shed a single tear. No, I know they can. I know, funny old thing, my guy who I'm going boozing with tomorrow and drinking some Guinness, he's got a mate, he's big in the rugby world, he's a professional rugby player. His mate actually broke up with pretty much the love of his life because she was a small framed woman, and he had a dick that was so big it would hang off the end of an iPad. And that's how it was described to me. If he put an iPad in his groin, the dick would hang off the end of it. Just looking at my iPad
in front of us now.
That's a big dick. And that wasn't, that's on the flop.
Well, this is what I was going to say. So it could genuinely hurt for her.
It could.
Leave all these men alone.
I'm just saying, it's such an ego stroking thing for a woman to say, listen, babe.
Let's just say, like, stop. Stop. If a woman gets a tear from sex, it genuinely does take a couple of days until it stops stinging when you pee, let alone sex.
Can you not pretend that, like...
You do. You do.
No. Very publicly now, you're making me into a little bitch.
No, but right. Let me get to my point here.
I'm packing.
No,
God looked after me. Squared me away. Big guy did it.
Right.
I just need to get this messaging out. I'm going to start an OnlyFans just with one dick pic, just so people can be like, yeah, fair one. All right, just with my face in it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, all right, sound. Carry on, sorry.
God, this has gone off. Yeah, so let's say actually it's hurting. Sex doesn't have to be, I've said this before, sex doesn't have to be sex. Sex can be so much more than just banging.
Yep.
So, you know, if it does take, and I will say to this guy here, some guys don't believe it, but it does take a couple of days to heal. So if you're wanting sex every day and it's genuinely hurting her, you can't expect her to keep going through that. So don't let sex just be sex. Have sex, then have a couple of days of fun, foreplay, try the sensory deprivation. Like, there's loads of things that you can do that doesn't have to be sex, that can keep your sex life alive.
Yeah, do you know what's, and again, what you can do with sometimes just pleasuring her. Men have got this thing where it's like, yeah, I just want a blowjob. It's like, funny old thing. Some women think, I just want to get eaten out.
Yeah.
You know? Do that. If she's clitorally stimulated, did I know that? Clitorally?
I don't know.
If she gets stimulated by a clit, you can just go down on her.
Yeah.
Just have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pleasure her. You know, it sounds, and, you know, take it any way you want. I'm not going to fall out with you about it, but it sounds a little bit like, why doesn't she want to fuck me all the time?
Right.
And it's like, she doesn't have to fuck you all the time, bruv. Like, she might not want sex as much as you. That's a natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our men normally want sex more than women.
Yeah.
We've spoke about this before. So she doesn't have to fuck you, you know, and if she's not feeling sexy, if work's difficult, if she's, you know, stressed or hormonal, the hormonal differences that women go through, the flex and dip that they go through is fucking mental. Men don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But I've looked at studies on it due to my job of trying to help women with fitness. You know, it's crazy. So maybe just take a little step back and just look at it in the bigger picture and think, okay, yeah, we're still banging. If you're banging more than like 3 times a week, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing well.
And
if you can go down on her a couple of times, if she might dish out a blowjob, it's good. If you watch some naughty stuff and just, the thing I love, and you don't love this, but I fucking love this, is when I sit with my back against the headrest of the bed or on the sofa, you sit between my legs and I just play with you.
Yeah, because I get like Quasimodo back because like you're like hunched over, because I'm not like a petite, tiny person. Like our torsos are almost the same height. Why are you looking disgusted in this?
Why are you're making out like I'm... Okay, so my OnlyFans is going to have 2 pictures now. 3 pictures. One with me topless, so people know I'm not like a little skinny bitch. And one with me with like a height chart behind me, so they can see I'm just under 6 foot. God gave me a lot, but didn't give me the 6 foot. That's heartbreaking. And a picture of my dick so people know I'm packing.
I'm sorry.
Breaking my heart, babe.
I'm so sorry.
Killing me.
Moving on from that, so we haven't got to get into it too much. But yeah, again.
Yeah, I'm over it. Whatever.
Again, sex isn't sex. There's loads of things you could do. That, you know, things that we do when I can't be asked.
Again, the hormonal things.
You'll touch yourself and I'll use a vibrator on my clit when we'll sit and watch the same porn together. Or again, you'll touch yourself and I'll lick your balls. And there's so many things.
God. That's the best.
There's so many things that you can do that aren't sex to keep your sex life going.
Yeah.
Like, don't expect sex from this girl every couple of days if it's hurting her. And also, with the whole psyching up each other or psyching up yourself to go and have sex when you're in a long distance relationship, she can probably take that pain because she hasn't seen you for a while. She's more than happy to have sex loads in that time because she's going to be away from you for a bit to heal.
Exactly.
Try and take it from her perspective. The only thing that I could say, try and get a man to relate to this. I don't even have a dick, so I don't know this is true. But imagine you had such a tight foreskin, and whenever you would really, really like have rough sex with a girl, it would tear or rip a little bit. And then you don't want to have your wank after that. You don't want to have rough sex after that. So
imagine, I'm going to hopefully shape this right. When a girl doesn't know how to give a hand job and she pulls the foreskin all the way back and yanks it down, that feeling is hell. Mm-hmm. And if they do it like hard enough and enough, it can get like, you can almost get micro cuts.
Right.
And it's fucking sore. So yeah, my guy. And if your dicks are that big, you've probably had this before. So I sound like I've really got a chip on my shoulder. He's probably packing heat. I'm really happy for him. I just want to move on. I feel like I've been bitched out so much in this segment. It's actually upsetting me. But no, let us know. I might have come at it with a bit of a spin there, but again, I feel like you just got to take a little step back, look at the big picture. You know, you're in a big relationship now, like a normal relationship. You moved in together. That's big. It can be fucking stressful. Mm-hmm. You know, stress plays a massive part on people's desires for sex. It might ease back in the future. You're never going to be fucking all the time forever.
Do you know something we haven't mentioned here?
Go on.
The whole foreplay doesn't start at the kissing. It starts at the beginning of the day. Are you doing enough for her within your relationship for her to want to have sex with you as often?
Are you, my guy?
I'd have a look. Does she cook every night for you? Is she the one who cleans the house majority of the time? Does she clean your washing? What are you bringing to this household that makes her go, that is a man and I want to take his trousers off?
Other than an absolute pipe. But no, exactly that. Woo her. It doesn't stop just because you're in a relationship.
No.
I try and get you flowers every week.
Exactly.
Try and do that every week.
I was about to say something like that, something that is very wooing to her. Yeah. You'll get it. You're in a long distance you were in a long distance relationship and you're having times where every time you come to meet each other, you're doing something fun and you're having sex. Do something fun. Have sex after it.
It doesn't have to be like sex isn't the be all and end all. We talk about sex because there's a big issue with it in terms of having an open conversation, but it's not the be all and end all. Like, I could happily never have sex with you ever again. But happily is a stretch, but I could do that because I love you so much. Like, and I just love being with you. Your company it fills me, you know? That's how I feel with you. So sex is amazing. And the fact that I get to have sex with my best friend and the person that I just adore is what a fucking gift that is. If I didn't have that, we'd have to have some conversations. We'd have to work out a blowjob schedule. But I don't need it like that, you know? I just need you.
Love that. Right.
Anyway.
Next segment.
So we're going to go back onto cuckolding where I now tell everyone I'm a big cuck. No. Okay, so what's next?
Slippery when wet.
Fantasy time.
So we have one fantasy this week. It's not quite a fantasy as much as it is something that they fulfilled the fantasy in a way.
Okay, I've been working on it all week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give advice. I'm just going to enjoy the fantasy.
Great.
Because the problem is I go from advice mode into hearing a fantasy and I'm like, okay, let's talk about how we can help you with this. No, we're just here to discuss the fantasy. Okay.
Right. Just listening about the role play and wanted to share an amazing time I shared with a new relationship. I was previously married to a very inconsiderate man and I had left the marriage and was very excited to be able to build on my new sexual life that I couldn't wait to get cracking with.
Fuck yeah.
I was with a new guy who was very sweet and so the opposite in bed, and so lovely and just really good. We were in a hotel. There wasn't even any need for any role play, and we never even spoke about doing it. But I popped out for a wine glass and then knocked on the door. When I got back and we went into full-blown, "Hi, I've just moved in next door," and holding up an empty wine glass asked if he had any wine. He immediately opened the door, invited me in, and we played out the sexiest next door neighbour role play, which ended up us on the sofa, drinking, talking, and literally the most tensed up movie kiss we'd ever had before. We even ended up with a weekend full of role play, sex, and days out as these new people. It was amazing. We both still talk about that kiss. It was just incredible.
That's so fucking cool.
I love that they didn't even
Wasn't even
plan
planned.
it. Yeah.
Wasn't even. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And that's the power of imagination, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can build into a kiss that was so electric that they both still talk about it.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. I love that. That's like, again, that's pretty sexy. We should do a girl next door thing. Go outside and pretend that you just moved in. I want to see how this pans out.
We can do this.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. This is where we've spoke about role play before. Role play's been brought up a few times now, and it's been brought up to me. People who talk to me in my life who listen to the pod, and they say about a role play. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of like that. I'm digging the role play," and I'm like, "All right, yeah, cool." It can just be anything.
Be anything. Two strangers meet in a bar.
Literally that.
The delivery man. Anything.
Yeah, or it'd just be like you could almost like start off angry at each other.
Yeah.
Just be like, you cut me up at that roundabout. Fuck you. No, fuck you. And then it would be like, what are you going to do about it? And then that, like, you can just play out so many different avenues of how it's going to go. Like that one was all about anticipation. That was all about, they know they're going to fuck. So there's no question of, oh, this girl's just come from next door, or I've just gone over to the guys next door and I think he's hot. And, oh, do we, don't we? Are we going to do something? They know they're going to fuck.
Yep.
And it's like that electric build-up where neither of them are allowing themselves to just do what they were there to do. They played along. They built the anticipation. They really strung it along and created this whole other idea. Because again, if like I'm buzzing for this lady who just fucked off her ex-husband because he sounds like a dickhead, and went out and did her thing, and then go and meet someone in a hotel for sex. Cool, class, as long as you're safe, as long as you understand and you're being looked after. Bombers, I'm really happy for you. But you're there to fuck. You're going there to fuck.
Yeah.
So you can be a bit like, oh yeah, well, we are just here to fuck. Making this a whole new thing. And it sounds like they're still together.
I love that they carried it on through, it sounds like they're together, but I love that they carried it on through the weekend. Like that one moment, like, let's carry this on through the weekend. But that was a fun weekend.
I bet that was a great weekend. Honestly, that's amazing. And again, hopefully people can take inspiration from that.
Yeah.
Don't put up with shit, and just try some stuff. Just try it. Roleplay feels awkward for about 3 seconds until you both say something in character, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
All
it.
right.
All right. You ready for your favourite part?
Oops, wrong hole.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we need to get this jingle sorted.
I know. Alrighty, so I'll just get started. You know those thoughts that pop into your head at 2 a.m. and make you go all sweaty? Yeah, well, this one's mine. Many years ago, I was with my first ever high school girlfriend. She invited me round to her house for dinner. Great, I might get some action. We spent the whole day together, and the opportunity to fart never safely came up.
Oh, no.
I soldiered on in discomfort, not wanting to unleash what was stewing in front of her. When we got back to hers and into bed before dinner, she wanted to give me my very first blowjob. She placed herself on her front, under the covers between my legs, and started to tease me. This is where things went downhill. As she lifted my nutsack, the most unholy stench came from behind. I can only compare it to a World War I mustard gas trapped in a 2010 Sainsbury's plastic bag. Luke will back me up here. We love the smell of our own farts. Oh, Guys.
You know it as well.
No. How you can even stand your farts is beyond me.
It's funny. It's just funny.
But my God, I had to turn my head into the pillow. The poor girl was right in the radiation zone and didn't even blink. And we never addressed it.
She still went to town on him.
I'd like to point out, I didn't fart in her face, but there must have been a pocket of stale ones I've been holding in all day. Not only was this bad enough, but there was a knock on the door. And in 0.75 seconds later, her dad was standing in the doorway. Not enough time to act normal. He looked at my petrified face, then over to a daughter-shaped outline situated over my crotch and said, "Do you prefer mash or jacket potatoes?" I said mash like it was a normal situation, and he left. My girlfriend tried her best to calm me down and reassure me that he didn't know what was going on.
Shut up.
But I was beetroot colour for about 3 days. Not only was that an awkward dinner, but the dad also dropped me off home.
Nah.
Just me and a warrant officer in the military sitting in silence. All I can say is he raised a trooper and his wife makes a bloody good mash. Oh dear.
Oh, that just kept giving.
Yeah.
The fact
that
this
he
is,
didn't even fart and it just
stank.
Oh.
But that happens sometimes. You almost get like a little, you don't fart, it just like a pocket and then it kind of pops. Like a little bubble and then it pops and you're like, oh, whoops.
Okay, yeah, women get that, I guess.
Yeah, I've heard women, sometimes it runs up your front
It
seam.
rolls, that's all I'm thinking, like a little bubble, yeah.
That's what I've heard. Fucking hell, that's jokes. And for her to be, this is where women learn manipulation. They learn it young. Don't worry, he didn't know what I was doing. When my head was literally under the quilt, right on top of your dick. Why were you under the quilt? Like he's that dumb.
Yeah.
Like he's that dumb.
He was a boy once.
Yeah, and if he's in the military, he knows. Them boys fuck. All right? Trust me.
Right, next one.
Love that one. Love that one.
My parents moved out to the middle of nowhere at the age of 16. There's a large field in the middle of the woods a few miles away. Me and my girlfriend go out there a few weeks after I started living there and proceeded to get busy. A few minutes later, I hear a helicopter nearby. Don't think anything of it, and all of a sudden there's a large spotlight on us. The National Guard uses this field as a training area to practice night landings. I know, weird, fucking in the middle of the woods at night, but when you live with 4 sisters, 2 brothers and a mum and dad, you tend to fuck wherever you can.
Wow. Wow. Imagine just spotlight, just seeing bare like cheeks, just cheeks going for it. And then just 2 faces looking up to the sky whilst these cheeks are still going.
They would have been cracking up.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? If they're using it for night landing, my understanding of that kind of thing is they'd have MVGs, they'd have night vision capability, they'd also have thermal. So they'd be looking at it going, there's 2 people fucking in that original. And they go, no way, is there? Yeah, let's put the spotlight on them. That's what would have happened. They wouldn't be using the spotlight other than just to absolutely ruin your day and make our day really great by having that story for us. Because that was, Jesus, all these stories we get, I've never had anything like this. No. I've never been caught by a helicopter clapping cheeks.
No?
No.
I thought that was just a normal thing we all went through when we was like 16.
I don't want to talk about your childhood. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Is that the last one?
We have one more.
Got one more. Why are you smiling so hard?
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like this is going to be a good one.
I was being fucked in the shower bathtub combo and he was gagging my throat with his fingers at the same time.
This just went deep real quick.
She just escalated immediately.
Other people had intros. No, we're in the middle of the story. Okay.
The shower was on and water was streaming onto me and into my mouth. On about the 10th or so time, he shoved his fingers down my throat to trigger my gag reflex because he liked how that felt. I gagged really hard and shit out a ton of loose poop around his cock and into the shower floor below.
It was going to be sick or poo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This,
mind you, was a hotel shower shared with a bunch of other people who would be horrified to know what was happening. So in the sheer adrenaline rush that I found myself in, all I could do was stamp on the shit through the drain like a reverse potato masher while spraying the shower on both of us to get the shit off. It was incredibly gross, and I learned a lot about what not to do as a bottom that night. He fucked me after again.
My God, like soldier, love it.
But I couldn't shake the memories whenever I was around him, and it was so embarrassing. I honestly had to stop talking to him. I'm so sorry. He was super cool about it and didn't shame me at all.
I thought it was going to be sick, to be honest.
Well, she's got a good gag reflex, but
she sounds like a.
That's just like unlocked a new fear. See, all I'm thinking about when I'm gagging is don't puke, don't puke, don't puke. But now it can be like
about pooping.
Don't puke, don't poop.
I'm just glad I don't do a lot of gagging, because that does sound. Oh, and it, not from my point of view. Again, if that was you and you accidentally pooped on me through something I was doing as well, I'd just be like, sound whatever.
Yeah.
Just clean it up. I don't care. Especially if you're already in the shower. That's like perfect.
Yeah.
That's the time to get shit on accidentally.
In the shower.
In the shower. You know, with the water going. I thought, so I was thinking about sex in the shower. It's just like getting waterboarded. It's not as sexy as you think.
Can you remember when we had sex in the shower?
Yes.
And it didn't go well.
Yes.
You don't remember?
I don't remember a lot. You know this.
We had to get out halfway through because it was just awkward.
When
and we
was
couldn't
this?
have proper sex. Like way back when.
Way back.
Oh yeah, not like this recent time.
Oh right,
having
yeah.
sex
No,
in the
my
shower.
memory's fucked. I've taken too many head injuries.
The 6 years ago.
Oh right.
At my house.
No.
Oh, I see. That's a memory in my head because of how awkward it was.
Really?
Yeah, we had to get out and go into the bedroom and have sex.
Did we?
Yeah.
Fuck. Was I cool about it?
Yeah.
No.
I think you was the one who was like, should we just go in the bedroom?
Why was it so bad?
Because it was like a bathtub shower and it was just awkward and uncomfortable.
Do you know what's always a concern for me?
Come on.
Shower sex is like someone's going to slip up and like smash their face on a wall.
Yeah.
And it just, there's too many concerns going through my head. Maybe I'm an overthinker, I don't know. But there's too many concerns going through my head. Like, I can pick you up and pin you against the wall and fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
If I do that in the shower,
we're going down.
Exactly.
We're gonna be like a bar of soap.
Skinned on porcelain or on plastic with like moisture between my feet and the purchase on the bottom. Yeah, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. That's the way our bodies get found.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. So shower sex is dangerous. You're either going to shit yourself apparently, or you're going to fall down. So be careful out there whilst fucking in the showers.
Do you know what you could do?
Go on.
Wear your little surfer booties in the shower.
I mean, they're sexy. I've got Vans booties for when I'm surfing.
Uh-huh.
So often when I go to the beach and get on a board, a lot of people are jealous until they see me surf, and then they're like, he's a poser. He's just shit. He's a dickhead. But yeah, I could do if you want me to. And you know I've got a new pair of budgie smugglers that I just adore.
Don't.
And
we don't need to bring them up.
Hey, all my boys are wearing them.
You can throw them on your OnlyFans if you want.
I could do. It gives away too much about me though.
Okay.
I'm a mystery man.
Mm.
That's all I am. No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. One day, we'll share some of our stories maybe.
I think we share enough of ourselves.
We do share a fuckload of ourselves, to be fair. So that's that. That's the end of episode 8. If you have any submissions that you want to do, obviously you can do them anonymously. You can do those on
iotk.fun, F-U-N.
Such a sick website name. We've got socials. We've got
TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Anything else?
That's it. That's all we have. We're ironing out the kinks, all one word.
Exactly. And whatever you're listening to us on, please just drop us a review and subscribe to us if you like it. You won't believe how quick it is to leave a review, especially on things like Spotify, and it helps us out so much.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want 5 stars. Obviously, we'll fight anyone for 5 stars. But at the same time, if you've listened to it and thought, you know what, that was 4 stars, that's what you think. I'm not telling you to lie. But obviously, if it's 5 stars, it's 5 stars because that fucking helps us out massively.
I mean, if you leave 4 stars, Luke will find you.
They don't know my skill set. Okay. But yeah, I find people. It's basically my thing. And I'll kiss you. And the thing is with my kisses, they're so good you'll never have a good kiss again. So leave 4 stars and see what happens.
That's quite a curse.
It's a curse. Exactly. You don't want one of my blowjobs. Okay? You'll never get your dick sucked well again. It's a curse for life. Okay? So, yeah, remember that, people. And yeah, stay safe and keep fucking.
Bye.
Bye.